Hey guys, how you doing today? It is Cuts Like Magic, aka on Xbox, Honeypot Hero, all caps, two spaces, Honey, space Pot, space Hero. Today I am going to bring you a very short recap on BioShock Infinite. This game has been amazing, absolutely wonderful. You just cannot beat it. It is BioShock. There was a lot of speculation after Bioshock 2 whether there was going to be a Bioshock 3 or vice versa, something that would be just as good as Bioshock. Bioshock was amazing. It gave you a lot of options. There was a lot of stuff to do, a lot of quests. And now in Bioshock Infinite, it is totally different. New characters, different plot, different area. So real quickly, I just want to say spoiler alert if you have not played this game yet. And if you haven't, stop watching this video right now or continue to watch, etc. This is more just an overview, but it could reveal some stuff that you don't want to find out yet. So if you haven't gotten this game, go out and get it right now. You can probably get it used. They're running a trade-in value thing this month. If you have that pro card, you get an extra 10% on top of an extra 20% towards a used game. So if you can find a GameStop near you that has that trade-in still going on, and you have one of those pro cards, I highly suggest you go get it. So let's get right on into the reviews here. This is also from Game Informer. This is just the best gaming magazine to have, in my opinion. So BioShock Infinite, it got both the Game of the Month and the Game Informer Platinum rating. It was phenomenal. This thing has the ability to be the game of the year at this point. It was rated 10 by almost everybody who got it. Its overall rating was an 83. Let me read you just a quick summary of this here. A city in the sky, a man with a debt, and a woman with mysterious powers. Irrational Games uses these seemingly simple components to craft a complex and thrilling tale that lives up to the legacy of the original BioShock. From the wondrous setting to the entertaining combat, everything about the experience comes together into a polished and rewarding adventure that stands among the best of this generation. That was written by one of the Game Informer, editors, and I could not agree more. This game is simply fantastic. The weapons that you have uh, include, your basic pistol and machine gun, a carbine. You have the volley gun, which shoots explosive, just balls of fire. It's like a giant uh, cannon and stuff. You have Skyhook, which is something you get at the very first part of the game after the raffle. And this Skyhook has the ability to snap necks, decapitate people. You pick them up by the chest, spin the Skyhook in their chest. It's extremely bloody and gory, and it's nice. It's a good game. The graphics are pretty good, for this game. There's a lot to load. Um, and it says here players must be comfortable with the concept of parallel realities, which is really true. And peaceful streets become war-torn battlegrounds and everything. You're fighting the cops and the people of Columbia, which is the floating city. You have to fight Father Hale Comstock, and he is the prophet of Columbia, and he has a daughter named Elizabeth. And according to Booker DeWitt, the guy you're playing as, you bring these people the girl, and you wipe away the debt. And what this game basically is about is traveling, opening these tears that Elizabeth can open. She can open tears, and you can go different places. You can bring in things. You can bring automated gun bots and missile bots and cover and freight hooks to help you get to places where there might be an audio log or a telescope or one of the kinetoscope things that are part of an achievement where you use every kinetoscope and pair of binoculars in the game, which are basically those little sightseeing binoculars that you see on like a bridge or something where you can look out over the vast expanse and it just kind of brings it closer to you. And then the other achievement is finding every audio log in the game, which the audio logs I think are just as important. You have a lot to listen to. What you're listening to basically are these people's sides of their stories and everything. and the tears and everything, it may not make sense at first. I mean, slowly the game goes on. Now, I mean, that's where it gets a little bad on my part. I gave this game like a 9.8. It's just it's confusing and it's hard to follow, and a lot of this stuff is really hard, especially on 1999 mode, which is the new hardcore mode. Um, and I'll tell you what, I'm stuck at the part right now in the graveyard where you are trying to battle the ghost of Lady Comstock and the dead people she brings up. That is just about impossible. I used up all my ammo so quickly, I can't even get a single bit of damage done on her. It's really frustrating. So, I mean, I'm going to try and get a video of where I can actually beat that, but I have to keep restarting time and time again. But, you know, that's the only point it's frustrating at. Um, let's get into what you experience in this game. In this game, you start out as Booker DeWitt. It's around the 1900s, 1914 era. So World War One is kind of just going off down below. Nobody really knows about it yet because America hasn't been involved in the war. And Booker DeWitt goes to a lighthouse on an island, and he rings some bells at the top. You know, the lighthouse owner has been mysteriously, you know, just slaughtered. It's very weird. You start picking up silver eagles all over the place. You start, you know, learning that this is going to be a very religious game as well. You know, you have the prophet, and everywhere there's these little sayings like "wash away your sins," etc., etc. And I think that just kind of adds to it because Booker DeWitt is not a religious man. He doesn't believe in God. He's his own guy, and that's what's kind of fun to play about. And so you don't want to get too much into the religious part. You know, if there's religion, whatever, you can be kind about it, let it go. Um, and so when you get into the lighthouse up at the very top, you sit in a chair, and it's a lot like the biosphere from BioShock, where it takes you down, but instead this takes you up. And with a certain code, you know, he holds it up. He holds up the code while you ring the bells and stuff to help you, and it takes you up into the sky, and you land on a track in Colombia, which sucks you down into the bowels of the city, where you have to be completely cleansed by the people there. You have to go through a baptism to enter Colombia, and you undergo the baptism twice. He like dunks your head. The guy dunks your head. Remember to look around in the area, that first area that you're actually able to walk around into when you get to Colombia. There's a couple presents in there, some food, stuff that helps you get your salts, and a couple silver eagles, which are the currency in Colombia. So remember to pick that up. There's also a couple audio logs there. I think maybe one or two. Remember just to check everything thoroughly. I'm pretty sure it's only one. And then go do the baptism. And then along the way, uh, you know, he dunks your head again, and then you suddenly resurface in Colombia. And these guys worship the earliest presidents before slavery was abolished. You know, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin. They think these guys are might as well be God uh, from these people. So what you have to remember is it's a little weird. They worship these guys like they are God, but they're looking up to the Christian God and stuff. Father Hale Comstock is the prophet. So after exploring this a little bit, you go all the way into what now is considered the raffle, and the raffle is for the very prestigious people of of Colombia. And what you experience there is where you find out that Colombia is racist. They do not like black people. They use them to clean, and that's it. They lower wages, everything, because in the raffle you get a baseball to throw at people. And all around you see these posters. It says "Beware the false prophet" with AD on the back of your hands. And so we skip forward a little bit. You can either choose to throw the ball at the people on the stage or not. And everybody's like, throw it, you know, kill them, etc. Um, I'm gonna let you guys figure out what happens there. You can either throw it or don't throw it. I did both, and you know, it's kind of goofy if you throw it. And so you have on the back of your hand, when you pass the first poster that says "Beware the false prophet," it's like a devil hand with an AD branded on the back. He holds up his hand and he has the AD. And that AD is his daughter's initials, Anna DeWitt. And I'm not going to go much more into her. You will learn her connection to this game, about after the graveyard part with Lady Comstock. Um, and you basically have to fight everybody in Colombia when they learn you're the false prophet. They're going to try and kill you. So you piece together your combos and use guns and weapons and that kind of thing to help get you to where you need to be. You use your sky hook to jump onto the railings, the sky railings that travel all over the place. You use those to travel. You use freight hooks to jump onto. Remember to use your tears. That is the most important thing. Use those tears to your advantage in a big battle because especially against Slatesmen in like one of the first boss kind of missions, definitely essential. So use that. I'm gonna cut it off right here, guys. I'm running out on time, and I'm gonna do a part two to the Bioshock Infinite. It's an excellent game. Remember to comment, like, rate, favorite, subscribe, do all that jazz for me. Thanks, guys.